How is my art related to my spiritual path? Well, I think for me as a poet, when you look at many spiritual traditions, I remember one sheikh, he said, if you come across a sheikh or a saint who is not a poet, then you may really need to think whether or not that person is really a saint, right? In that he's saying that like most awliya are poets. So for me, this is a tradition. The tradition of poetry is connected to the tradition of Islam, of tasawwuf, right? The tradition of tariqas, like people who aspire for the love of the beloved will be inspired, their pen will be inspired, and their tongue will be inspired to recite. In my tradition, my grand sheikh, Sheikh Ibrahim Nias, he said that his poetry is the fruit of his life, and he left hundreds upon hundreds of praise poetry about the Prophet ﷺ, literally. And so for me, this is something that I try to engage with a lot, because not only do I love poetry, but I love that I'm connected, or I'm trying to connect to a tradition which spans centuries, you know what I mean? And it's something that has always been there. So when I'm as a poet, I guess I'm trying to align myself with a tradition that has always existed, you know? I try to, as much as possible, learn and recite qasidas that if I can, and try and get the you know, the meaning and the translation, so I can understand and try and tap into what they were tapping into. So for me, the poems of praise of the Prophet is a big part of our tradition. And when I spoke to my sheikh, he said, you know, mashallah, poetry is good because this is from our tradition, this is from the sunnah, this is our way. So I definitely see it as linked. But thank you so much for listening. My name is Sukina, and I pray that you enjoy the rest of Rabi al-Awwal, and I pray that you enjoy the rest of the course. Jazakallah khair, and thank you to Baraka Blue for making this happen. Jazakallah khair.